Hello everyone, Giltar here with something different than my normal review video. Today we're going to be taking a brief look at the 1 to 1/44 scale RealGrade RX-78-2 Gundam model kit. Now I'm not putting up a normal sort of fully detailed review that I normally would want to do for a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm pretty busy this summer. I'm working 6 days a week, and with my one day off, I only have so much time I can devote to my YouTube channel, unfortunately. And a lot of that time is currently being spent on Riderfest, which is something great. I really am enjoying it, and it's just a great event, and I'm happy to see so many people take part. But yeah, that's sort of put all my other sort of YouTube work aside for the time being, and there's still a couple more weeks for Riderfest, so I won't be doing a full review for the RealGrade here anytime soon. I actually haven't even finished the model kit. I still have to assemble the shield and the hyper bazooka. However, I've been getting asked regularly in the past several weeks by people just wondering what my thoughts are on the RealGrade model kit, when I'll have the review up and running, so on and so forth. And I'm constantly replying to people saying I'm still working on it, it's not done yet. And I figured I should put up something relating to the RealGrade rather than just keep answering people's questions and just keep telling them that it's coming but it's not here, and I honestly don't know when I'll have a full review. But the thing is, in addition to me being busy, it's just other people have reviewed the model kit. They've been doing great jobs on the model, answering a lot of sort of common questions that people would have about this particular product. And one person in particular did a really great, comprehensive, extensive review of it. Vegeta8259 did a 3-part review for the model kit, but in addition to that, he did a 10-part build and paint series for the model. So he went through all the contents of the kit, went through the process of building it, and took us along on his paint job for the model. So with someone like Vegeta there doing already such an extensive job, I pretty much would think that I have nothing much else to add that hasn't already been said by him and other people. So what I'm going to plan to do here with this video is basically give a quick list of my pros and cons for it, and my recommendations, whether it's for or against this model kit. So with that being said, let's start off with my recommendation. I'd have to say, yeah, I recommend this model. I think it's an outstanding product. It's a great example, an exercise by Bandai's Gunpla designers in seeing how far they can take Gunpla engineering at the 1 to 1/44 scale. They've essentially put together a master grade model kit in 1 to 1/44 scale. That in itself is very impressive, but not only do they put the design features into it, for the most part it's successful. It's a surprisingly solid model. With all of the numerous parts that go into building up this kit, one would think it'd be much looser than it is, but for the most part it's really solid, stable, and well designed. My only issue with it is just the front skirt armor, which is really loose. They're on these ball joint pegs, and they connect, and they're fine for moving around, but once you fiddle around with them a little bit, they tend to come out of place and fall off, and it's pretty annoying when you want to pose your model kit. But aside from that, it's surprisingly solid and stable overall, at least my kit here. Another thing that's neat about this model is just the fact it actually does come with a core fighter. Now, I don't have the core fighter here with me, but I want to show you guys this sort of fake pseudo stand-in core block that you just have in the torso, so that you can display the core fighter separate from the RealGrade RX-78-2 Gundam, and you still have an inner structure there to keep the torso stable and solid. Actually, I guess I won't go into the pros and cons, neatly. I'll just sort of ramble on my thoughts on this model. So yeah, it is a surprisingly solid model kit for the most part. We have a true transformable core fighter that comes with it. You get a tiny 1 to 1/44 scale Amuro Ray. I don't know if anybody's ever going to paint it, but I did see a photo of somebody who actually painted their little Amuro, so that's pretty crazy. I wouldn't have the sort of steady hand to be able to do something like that, but I'd love to see more examples of a painted 1 to 1/44 scale Amuro. Now, articulation is great. It's actually astounding. I'm just going to leave that armor, or front skirt armor there, but I'm going to show you guys that this is a model kit that can actually do and this front skirt armor piece will probably fall off too, but it can actually do a very naturalistic lean, or rather kneeling pose, which is surprising because not many model kits, or Gunpla model kits at least, can do something like this. Now I'm talking about like master grades and even perfect grades. Only the newer ones can achieve something of this kind of stance, this pose. A lot of the model kits on the market now, in terms of Gunpla, which pretty much are the most posable and articulate model kits in the market, most of them can't achieve a pose like this. Most of them have an awkward, odd-looking kneeling pose, and this is just a demonstration of the articulation possible with this model kit, and that's largely due to the inner frame structure that allows multiple points of articulation. I mean, the front portion of the foot can slightly bend. You get a lot of movement here, but yeah, it's just this inner frame structure is really amazing. Now, a lot of people did have reservations about the inner frame because it's partly pre-built, and it's not the exact same process as one would see in a master grade or perfect grade kit. But the thing is that if you wanted a sort of a one-to-one sort of scaled down version of an inner frame, but at 1 to 1/44 scale, you're going to have a big mess on your hands. It'll be very difficult to put together for some people, and the stability would be questionable. What the RealGrade model kit does is that it uses a pre-built inner frame skeletal structure in which you add on other inner frame parts, and then you have a complete inner frame. Now, on top of that inner frame, you add on these outer armor components. That is actually something that, to me, really mimics the master grade build process experience. And again, it's just this great design and engineering by Bandai's Gunpla designers that make this feat possible, which is quite amazing. You do get a nice range of accessories. You get 2 beam saber hilts here just for placement. You get 2 beam saber hilts that have the ability to be wielded in the RealGrade's hands. It does actually have these rectangular slots in the palms, which you peg the beam saber hilt into the palms of the hands. The same thing goes here for the beam rifle. There's a peg on the rifle which goes into the slot and helps secure it. Now, with respect to articulation, you do have pretty much like master grade level design for the hands. I won't really go into posing them because well, it's kind of finicky, and I don't want the ball joint portions to pop off. I don't have a problem with them, but I do think that these are probably a little more touchy, so that if you manipulate them a little too much, they will sort of pop out of place. But you do have really posable hands. You have a ball jointed thumb, a ball jointed index finger, and then the middle ring and pinky fingers are all on one ball joint, and one of the knuckles on the fingers actually have a hinge joint, so you can actually bend the finger itself as well. And that's just simply impressive at this small scale. But yeah, speaking of accessories, once again, you have the 2 pairs of beam saber hilts, 2 long beam saber blades, effect parts. You have a beam rifle, a hyper bazooka, which I haven't built, a shield, which I haven't built. Still working on building those. They're the last part of the model I have to build. But all the parts, even something as simple as a beam rifle, has multiple parts. The construction of the beam rifle is very similar to the master grade version 2.0 Gundam's beam rifle build. So that's pretty interesting. I built the version 2.0 before building the RealGrade just to see how they would compare, and there are a lot of points of similarity between the two model kits, despite being 2 different scales. Now, the head is actually quite impressive as well. It has an inner frame structure. It has multiple components that, the yellow Vulcans here, for example, are a separate part from the helmet itself. The red part of the helmet, the camera sensor in the front, the camera sensor on the back are separate components as well. The backpack is made up of multiple components. Everything in this model kit is just, there's hundreds of parts that go into the construction of this model kit. And that leads up, again, to a surprisingly solid structure. Now, as you've seen, it's not completely solid, but There are ways around this, and these are flaws, but relatively minor flaws against the weight of all the positive points of the model. Now, there are a couple other things I do want to bring up. First of all, the use of stickers. I think it's nice, a great idea, and it's good that it's optional, but I've never cared for stickers. The metallic stickers for the joints look nice, but they're going to come off eventually. The gold stickers for the chest vents, I really think look silly because they're not full stickers. You only get stickers to put on the top of them, so that if you look at it from an elevated position, they look fine. You just see this gold. But then if you start coming downwards, and then you see the undersides of the vents, you have this yellow, sort of flat yellow plastic covered on the top by this sort of chromy gold stickers. It just looks cheap and tacky and just silly looking. So I would have rather have either having no stickers for the chest vents, or at least larger stickers to wrap all the way around the top and bottom to make them look a little better. But even so, the yellow parts here with the gold stickers, they're the only parts with gold stickers. Every other yellow part's just the normal yellow from the model kit. So visually it's out of there's no continuity. Only certain parts are yellow and only certain parts are gold. I would rather have more of a cohesive overall look with all gold or all plastic yellow. And speaking of stickers, the other sort of decals or decals that you put all around these marking seals basically on the model kit, again, great idea, but they're all so tiny and they're so numerous, I can't be bothered to put them on. I'll probably never take them off the sheet and put them on this model kit. I like the look of it as it is. With all those different markings, it looks kind of gaudy to me. I guess I'm just not into the version or Verca look of the numerous vehicle markings. So yeah, the stickers I'm not a big fan of. But those really are the only cons I can mention. Now, somebody could say, well, how about the high price? It's 2,500 yen. Well, the thing is, I've seen some other, and I have some other 1/144 scale model kits from Bandai, such as the high-grade Universal Century New Gundam, the Sazabi, which are, I think, around 2,800 yen. And you know what? They're more expensive, yet in terms of design, they offer less. They're less advanced. So surprisingly, I would say the RealGrade RX-78-2 is surprisingly cheap. You know what? I would say it's fair to offer this at 3,000 yen at normal retail pricing for all that it brings to the table. And you know what? I guess I'll leave it as that. I think it's just a really great centerpiece for any Gunpla collector's display, just to point out to people, to say this is what's possible at this smaller scale. This is what Bandai could do, and you know what? This may be a stepping stone, a milestone for future Gunpla development, so that we can see the future of great advancements. This is like the seed of those developments, I think. So yeah, definitely recommend this model kit. Please check out Vegeta8259's series of building the model and his review on the RealGrade. If you want to see a fuller, comprehensive review and more details about the model, check those videos out. They're just well done, as usual, by him. I've been subscribed to him for such a long time, and I really enjoyed watching his long journey through the building and reviewing of this particular model kit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of relatively quick, for me at least again, sort of look at the RealGrade model. This is going on to 13.5, and this will probably end at a 14-minute video, but yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I do apologize to people who are expecting a longer review, but you know what, like I said, Vegeta already has done such a great job. I don't think I could add anything else to it, at least not at this time. So maybe in the future I'll do a more extensive review, but for now, those are my thoughts on this model. Definitely, if you have the opportunity, pick this up, add it to your collection, and I think it'll impress you just as much as it impressed me while I was going through the build experience. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys at the next video.